I was wearing a shirt that said Riot Grrrl that I had made. And she was like, Riot Grrrl, I'm in a band. And I was like, you are? Because I wanted to be in a band really bad because I already had the vision of my band BitchFit. Like, I had that idea already. And I was like, ooh, she's a drummer. I need a drummer. They're hard to find. Like, let me get this girl. And then we became friends really quick. Me and Tallulah always clicked really well. Like, at Matter House. And I remember I texted her one day, this like big text, because I was still like new to like knowing her. I was like, do you want to be in a band with me? And then she never responded. And I was like, but then it was the day before my birthday and she was at my house. And we were talking about it again. And I was like, oh, I just want to be in a band. I was like, Tallulah, you should be in a band with me. She's like, oh my God, yes.
Rob Ruckus,
Nick Collins,
Kate Clover,
Keith Semple,
Isaiah Mitchell,
Billy Harvey,
Tim Howard. Check it out, Almost Famous Magazine.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Hang right here on Almost Famous Magazine. I'm your host, Scott Saldinger. Thank you for hanging with us, getting to know musicians well beyond just their music. If you're new to the channel, thanks for coming to hang out with us. Please, you know what to do. Subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff, and then share it with your friends. If you've come back because you love what we're doing, have you shared it with your friends yet? If not, what are you waiting for? Also, if you prefer to take your podcast on the go, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere you find your podcasts. Today, as part of our ongoing Dollfest 2026 coverage, today on The Hang, we're joined by BitchFit. They are an Oakland and San Francisco-based punk Riot Grrrl band. So Riot, we got to give it the right energy. Girl band proving that age has zero to do with the impact that they're making. In just over a year, these teenage powerhouses have been tearing it up with raw, confrontational songs like Girl Soldiers, Stupid White Boy, for which I hope they don't think I am one of those, Barbie's World, and Paid Administrative Leave. They're blending old school punk grit with an urgent right now voice. They are loud, fearless, and politically charged. And yes, absolutely, they're freaking amazing, and I can't wait for you to meet them. BitchFit isn't asking for any of your permission. They're inviting you to straight into the pit to protest injustice and scream back at the world. Let's see what kind of screaming goes on today. Welcome, Ailish, Tallulah, and Lila. Welcome to The Hang.
Hi. Thank you so much for having us.
Hi. Did I get all that right? Was that it?
Yes,
did I do
very
good?
much so.
Perfect. Wonderful.
That was perfect.
Excellent.
I felt very flattered. Like that made me very happy.
I try really hard. Sometimes I nail the landing. So
Definitely did.
I think you nailed it.
Awesome. All right, we're starting out on good footing. We start our episodes with the age-old question: how did your relationship with music begin? Did you find music, or did music find you? And because I'm looking at all of you, and Tallulah had the best facial reaction when I asked the question, we're going to go to her first. Tell me about your relationship with music.
Okay, so my mom is in a band and everything, so like I grew up around music like my whole life, and like that has kind of like been around me for like a very long time. And then like our actual relationship, like how the band started, is actually kind of funny. So
But what about
we'll get to that? We'll get to that in a minute. But so you grew up around music. What made you decide that was what was going to feed your passion, as opposed to say, hey, I'm going to go to culinary school?
Well, I've never been much of a cook, but my mom is also a drummer, and I was really always inspired by how she would like, I don't know, like you never see really any like girl drummers, and I thought that was like really, really rad. And I like kind of always knew I wanted to play music because I have always had like a very much big love for music. So I don't know.
All right. Hey, look, it's in the family, right? Lila, how about you?
I think for me, it's definitely also in the family. My father is a musician, and so is my mother. They were both in classical and orchestra. My dad still is. And so I grew up around music my entire life. I grew up playing all sorts of instruments. Like back there, I have my violin back there still. And I've always loved music, and I decided right around when BitchFit started that I don't know, it just felt right more than anything else for me, for my life. And I don't know, I always loved it. And when I sort of found more rock music, when I started going away from jazz and classical, is what I listened to the most. it just like clicked into place.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, growing up with classical and jazz and things like that, what drew you to the genre you're in right now? What was it that spoke to you?
My cousin initially got me into stuff outside of that sphere that I grew up in. Just the rawness, the emotion. It felt like there's so much expressed in punk and in rock and in metal and heavier music that, like, I feel like jazz and classical has so many beautiful emotions, but I think they tend to veer more towards like melancholy and romance and sadness. And I felt like there's such an anger and almost like unaddressed rage that is so well like encapsulated in the types of music that I listen to now and in the types of music that BitchFit plays. And that definitely got a hold of me.
Awesome. Ailish, how about your relationship with music? How did it start?
Well, I also have a very musical family, but it's very different. Like, my mom is definitely a musician. My dad likes, but I wasn't as exposed to it as I think specifically like Tallulah and Lila were. I mean, I loved music as a kid, but like my mom would play like soul when I was a kid. I grew up listening to that and like pop music, like what a kid usually tends to gravitate towards. But my mom was a punk, so so when I was about like 8 years old, that's kind of when that started being influenced. Like the first punk songs I think my mom ever played for me were "Bitchin' Camaro" by the Dead Milkmen and "Pepper" by the Butthole Surfers. And I remembered this in the car ride to school. And then when I was about 11, my brother became a punk, and then it only took me a couple more years, and then I got into it. And I mean, I've always loved music. I grew up singing. I didn't really grow up playing instruments though, until I was like liking punk music, and then I started playing the bass. But I love music. It's very important to me. I love all art forms, how expressive you can be, how much it can speak to not just you, but everyone listening to it or participating in it. And I think finding punk rock and Riot Grrrl and alternative music has been a very important thing for me to have in my life. And same with other roots. Like, I still love soul music. I love pop. Not as much, though. I love all music, and I'm really grateful to have that in my life, and I'm really grateful to have such amazing people to play music with. And Riot Grrrl was a big part of me becoming who I am, because I've always been very like outspoken and like, like very loud on my opinions. So finding out that like there's other girls before me who seriously can do that, it made me feel very empowered, especially because my mom's like that too. So yeah.
That's great. So tell us the story about how the three of you came together.
Who wants to do this? Lila, you want to do this one?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, me and Lila.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Me and Lila, we met in a program that you go to.
Therapy program.
It's like a therapy program, like that you go to like after you go to the hospital. So it's like we met in like a really interesting place, but we always kind of like clicked together because I feel like we both kind of like the same kind of music. Like, I was super into punk, and Lila was also into that and like other stuff. And I mean, yeah, we also kind of just bonded over like a love of art, like drawing and stuff like that. And we stayed friends. And Lila is like wicked at guitar, so I always like remembered that in my brain. So, and then when Ailish, you can go now. But
So then we go to OSA, Oakland School of Arts, and I joined in 8th grade last year, and I met Tallulah, and immediately I was like, "Ooh, I like her. I want to be her best friend." And then we were talking. I was wearing a shirt that said Riot Grrrl that I had made, and she was like, "Riot Grrrl, I'm in a band," and I was like, "You are?" Because I wanted to be in a band really bad because I already had the vision of my band BitchFit. Like, I had that idea already, and I was like, "Ooh, she's a drummer. I need a drummer. They're hard to find. Like, let me get this girl." And then we became friends really quick. Me and Tallulah always clicked really well. Like, I'm at her house. And I remember I texted her one day, this like big text, because I was still like new to like knowing her. I was like, "Do you want to be in a band with me?" And then she never responded. And I was like, but then it was the day before my birthday, and she was at my house. And we were talking about it again. And I was like, "I just want to be in a band." I was like, "Tallulah, you should be in a band with me." She's like, "Oh my God, yes." And then I was like, "Do you know any guitarists?" So then she texted Lila. And then I guess Lila, you tell the ending.
I got a text from Tallulah. It was actually the night I went to my first like local punk show, which was really funny. I got a text that said, because me and Tallulah were in a band together over that previous summer, so the summer of 2024. Kind of fell flat. It was another Riot Grrrl band. And then I got a text from Tallulah like, "Hey, do you wanna play guitar in a Riot Grrrl band with me and one of my friends?" And it was like, "Yeah." And then we just had our first practice like a week later,
November
and
9th.
November 9th, and we have never stopped.
Yeah, I feel like our first practice was so legendary
Yes,
because it's like it's like with bands, like sometimes when you have like your first practice is like a little, oh, okay, like, you know, we kind of suck, but I guess we can, you know what I mean? But like I feel like we all like clicked.
There was there was a flow that we got into,
Yeah.
not with the music, but with each other. Like
Yeah.
Ailish and Tallulah, like I am so thankful to Tallulah forever for introducing me to Ailish, and I'm so thankful to Tallulah for being in my life. Like these are like some of my favorite people ever, and I feel like when we got together as a group for the first time, like something just clicked.
Yeah, we definitely all we work really well. We're very similar people in a lot of different ways. We're also very different, so it creates a good like mix. And I remember going home after that practice and I was just like ranting about it. And I was like, this is so amazing, because the first song we played together, we learned because we had to learn a cover, was Feels Blind by Bikini Kill, one of my favorite songs. And I have the video and it sounds so bad, but like it was so good at the time because we were making sounds that went together that was like decent. And I remember being so excited. And I think, at least I know I knew that this was something that was going to be a part of my life for a long time.
100%.
Definitely.
So let's talk about the three of you working together. I mean, obviously there's a lot of love in this band. You can feel it. How do you three work together to bring the vision of the band into the way the band sounds and the creativity that you all share?
Ailish, you want to start this one?
Yeah. I think a lot of times our songs, this is how at least we've been doing it. We have like at least 10 songs. Usually they start with I write the lyrics. Sometimes I think there's been a couple times where we've collaborated a little bit. I love collaborating with them. Okay, sorry. I'm getting sidetracked. I usually start with the lyrics and I'll bring something into practice. Sometimes I bring in a bass line too. But that's not always the best way to work on it. But yeah, so I'll bring in this stuff and I'm like, hey, I wrote this song. And then we usually table it for like 2 months. And then we finally get to it. And then a lot of times we just jam something out and we're like, wait, that sounded really good. And then we'll like keep going. Or sometimes we'll be like, here's my bass line. Let's see if we can find something that works with it. I think usually when we create music, it can be kind of like a magical experience because we're just like, oh, there you go. There it is. Or sometimes it takes us a little longer. But once we kind of get in that state, that like flow state, it's nice. And then, we find the melody and we figure it all out. And then we'll come up with maybe little add-ins. And yeah, anyone else have anything to add?
No, that sounded perfect to me.
The fact that you know flow state blows my mind. I learned about flow state like 5 years ago, and I'm slightly older than y'all. So I mean, flow state is the most amazing experience, isn't it? Like the world, because I do concert photography, right? And when I'm doing concert photography, I have to do 4 or 5 things simultaneously, manually in my head to make a great picture. And when you get in the flow state, everything else just washes away, right? Isn't that, I mean, it's a great experience to have.
Best.
It's magical.
Whenever we play, I think a lot of shows we play, we enter that. And I think our best shows are when we kind of just...
It's electrifying.
Everything just falls into place, right? It's great. It's great. So let's talk a little bit about kind of beyond just the notes. Let's talk about the lyrics and the ideas. Are all 3 of you coming up with those ideas together for lyrics? How did you decide you wanted to use your voice in the way that you are?
Usually Ailish is the one who writes the lyrics. She is like an insane, like beautiful poet. Like I swear to God, like she reads me some of her like lyrics and some of her like poetry that she writes, and it's like actually just like it like I get chills. Like she's really great at writing. She mostly does the lyrics and stuff. And yeah.
I think we all share the same, political values, which makes the music and the poetry that Ailish writes, which is Oh my, it's so good. Like Ailish read me a poem like yesterday. That was. But we also share some political values, so it's like Ailish has a way of speaking and writing things that like encapsulate those emotions and feelings so well. It's like, oh.
Yeah, she like 100% like, because we definitely all have like, yeah, like the same political opinions and like stuff that we're like angry about. And I really think that like when Ailish writes lyrics, she can definitely like make it like put like the emotions into the words, and it makes it so much more powerful because we all feel it and we all hear it and we're like, let's just go. You know what I mean?
Thank you, guys. I think we're also very passionate. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lila.
Oh, I just said you're welcome.
Oh, I think we're also very passionate. All of us are very passionate people about what we believe in. I know I am, and I think that brings a lot of like that adds a lot of depth to things I might write for BitchFit, because like when I'm saying them, I mean them, and when I'm saying them, I'm serious. It's like you don't fuck, like you better not fuck with me. Like I'm not trying to be corny. Like when I'm on stage, like it's a different. It's like a part of me that I might not always accept. I'm very silly, but. And I think we all kind of have that. Like Lila, when she's on, Lila, when she's on guitar, she has that rage. Tallulah has that rage when she's on drums. And I think we all kind of just embody something we all feel. I call us the Holy Trinity because there's 3 of us. And we're kind of just, why am I holding nail clippers?
Hey, you know what? I'm holding a guitar pick. We're all multitasking. I mean, look, at your age, where did you find, where did the 3 of you find that, right? I mean, it takes a heightened level of awareness at a younger age to have the realization that I need to use my voice for my opinions and my belief, right? Where do you feel that comes from y'all? Tallulah, you raised your hand first.
Yeah, you go.
So like I said, my mom has always been like super like politically aware and always like at a young age telling me about shit that like I feel like some people are like sheltered from. But I have always been super duper passionate about like feminism and like justice for like, I don't know, like a bunch of different shit, and like, you know what I mean? And all of this stuff, like especially that's like happening in the world right now, has like also like made me like been like super like aware and like hyper focused on this like sorry, I'm trying to find the words, be like passionate about like what I believe and what I do, because like everything that's like going on right now is like so insane, and it's like really important to use your voice, especially right now. And yeah, sorry.
I agree with you, and I applaud you for, you know, taking a stand at your age. I mean, we are living in a bit of a crazy time. I think we can all agree there. And we certainly, you know, there are forces at bay that are trying to keep certain voices down. And I think it's important when you don't have a fear of saying what's real, because real is where we live. So I definitely applaud you for that. Lila, I think you were going to pick up something on that.
I think I grew up my entire life in spaces where I was very vastly different from everyone around me. And it made me, I've also grown up extremely privileged, and I grew up going to extremely privileged spaces. And that sort of turned into, from a young age, seeing in the news and with my friends all these terrible things happening, because we're growing up and we live in such a fucking, terrible time. But then going to these privileged spaces and not seeing people address things or talk about things or engage with things, and seeing people turn a blind eye when they can, always just confused the hell out of me and got to me. And I think I found my sort of rage and my drive for change from watching people who could do so much choose to do nothing. And knowing because I was in those spaces and around those people, I also have that privilege and power. Why the hell wouldn't I use it?
Yeah. I think I've always been politically minded. my whole family has always been incredibly politically minded. I like to call my younger self my little feminist self because I was always having these, like, my mom has so many stories. I always have these little rants about, like, I was like, how come when I wear my princess dress, I feel like I can't hit the piñata as hard? Real story. And it's always, social justice has always been something very important to me and something that I will always fight very hard for. I've always been an advocate. I've always been sticking my nose where it doesn't belong, helping people where it doesn't belong. And I've always gotten in trouble for that. I might be praised for that. It's different. And I think BitchFit, one reason I felt such a drive to really, really get the hang of, like, let me get this band in reality was after the election. The day after the election, I wrote the songs, or it was, yeah, I wrote the song Girl Soldiers. It was originally a poem in my zine. And I wrote that and I was like, I need to be using my voice more than I am now because I've always used my voice. I know Tallulah and Lila have always been trying to use their voices, but it just was so clear to me. I was like, I want to be, I guess, protesting and advocating, and I need to be because there's so many people who don't use their voices. There's so many people who think, using the phrase blind eye again, I'm going to turn a blind eye because it's not happening to me. But the reality is it will happen to you. If it's happening to your neighbors, something worse is going to happen to you. It's going to fucking happen to everyone. And we need to be speaking up about it. You're one person, but one person in a group of 100 and 30 and 20, that's still one person. And your voice matters.
Yeah. No, I love this. Tallulah, yeah.
That sounded very beautiful. You worded that very well. Yeah, I was going to say that's, like, I think something that makes BitchFit special is I think what a lot of the time we say stuff that, like, especially about, like, you know what I mean, social justice and, like, feminism, that a lot of people are maybe, like, scared to talk about, or it's, like, seems a little, like, too, like, I don't know, like, sorry, I'm having a hard time finding words, but I think it's what makes BitchFit special a lot of the time is that we bring up the stuff that needs to be talked about and that a lot of people want to talk about, but maybe they're too scared or they don't have, you know what I mean, the voice to. And I think that's really important.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I mean, it's funny if you go back to the old adage, you know, sticks and stones, right? That stuff will hurt us, but we have to use our words more. We have to use them so that other people hear them. And by other people hearing them, we can have conversations and then we can actually solve some problems. We don't have to worry about the sticks and stones. I applaud all of you for taking that role, especially at the age that you are. I mean, it's you know, we need a lot of that, and I'm really thrilled that you're putting that message out there. How do you feel about being in the kind of the punk and the Riot Grrrl and all that stuff, the punk space? You know, I joked off the top about stupid white boy, but let's be honest. Punk has been a very white boy place for long before you all came along. We'll just put it that way, right? How do you feel about having the ability to pave a way for women in punk? Because this is just the beginning for you. How do you feel about that?
Ailish, I think this is...
Ailish.
I mean, I feel it's scary, but it's wonderful walking down a road that has already been paved for us, kind of started to be paved for us by the people before us. The wonderful bands that have helped create the space that we now inhabit, and we can use our voices. I mean, punk 30 years ago, if you saw a girl in a band, that was, I mean, just the fact that we can be a band and, like, I mean, sure, we definitely have people that don't like us. We definitely have people hating on us, and I know it's because we're girls, just can't prove it. But it's beautiful, and the idea of our music helping someone find who they are makes me want to cry, because that's what happened for me. Listening to girl bands, Bikini Kill, Bratmobile, Sit Boy, etc. That's how I found who I am. I mean, how I refound who I was. Because a lot of girls are shamed out of their voices. They're taught that strong is ugly. You can't associate masculinity with femininity because then it's ugly. There's a toxic masculine and there's an overly feminine. But really, everyone should have a balance. But when that balance is put out there, that's shameful. So I felt shamed out of it. And when I found this music, I was like, why do I have to think that? I have a voice and that's beautiful. And I would love to help other people know that. And that's one reason I am so serious. But sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent, but yeah.
You're gonna get me choked up. I love it. It's beautiful. I absolutely love that for you. I mean, and there is a space. We need more of that. I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know. Why is my other thing here? Does anyone see that?
No. Wait, what are you talking about?
Oh,
Really?
Are we having a?
Is it just for me?
Is there two Tallulahs?
Yeah, because I don't know.
No,
not
I
for
only see
you?
one Tallulah.
Okay, that's good.
One Tallulah.
Does anyone else want to continue the convo? I'm
Okay.
Someone's trying to jump. We're gonna keep going. This is how the real world works. You get on a stage and sometimes the cable comes out of your amp. So we're just gonna keep moving on. So you've got, you're early on in this journey and you've got a smallish catalog compared to artists that have been around for a while. If someone's watching us right now and they're like, I want to get into this band, right? Is there one or two songs that you've created that's out there, because you've got your stuff where on Bandcamp, you're putting out music, one or two songs that are like, that's where they should start so they can start to go down the BitchFit rabbit hole? Where should they start and why?
I want to hear everyone's ideas. I'm curious.
I say start with Girl Soldiers because I think that song is so quintessentially us. It is the lyrics, bomb, bomb, bomb. It's so full of everything that BitchFit is and has been. And yeah, I mean the messaging behind it originally, it being written right after the election, it's so BitchFit. But then I would go to songs like Paid Administrative Leave, which is a very like rageful, of course, about police brutality. I'd go to Barbie's World. I feel like there's some songs that are just our highlight points. Definitely, I feel like Barbie's World, Paid Administrative Leave.
Yeah. What, Tallulah?
Oh, yeah. I think obviously Girl Soldiers, because it's like, I think it's so powerful, and I feel like it's just like our theme, basically. And then I would say Barbie's World, because I really, really like that song. And I think it's really good. And then, yeah, and we're making new songs right now that I also really, really like. Like more, I would say like more fast, like old hardcore punk-ish. And I really like this.
Yeah. I agree with them 100%. We're currently getting everything really tight so we can, record. I think definitely Girl Soldiers. It's our first song. It's our anthem. No one said this one because you guys have a hatred towards it, apparently. I'm kidding. That was a joke. Don't kill me. Stupid white boy. I love that song. And Barbie's World. And then you get a little, and Paid Administrative Leave, yes. Then you get a little deeper and you got like Scream and like Soak It in Innocence. And then we're coming up with 2 new songs right now. And I think once those are done, I think one of my biggest ones is going to be one of the ones we're coming out with now, which is called Eat the World.
And then you get really deep into Kali.
No! The BitchFit Vault. No.
The BitchFit Vault. We have some songs that we've written that the light of day does not reach them.
No. Blah blah blah.
Well, let me ask you this. You're playing Dollfest. For those who have not yet bought a ticket or made their plans to get out to Dollfest, will there be new songs that may be making their, a debut at Dollfest? Is that going to make it extra special?
I don't know if it'll be their 100% debut, but I'm pretty sure.
All right.
So, fingers crossed.
I want to ask a question. Kind of ties back to something you said, Ailish, about social media, haters, all that stuff, right? You all come from a different generation than I do with technology and social media, right? You've never lived without it. And it has grown from somewhere that was supposed to be something great into a place that can be hyper toxic and detrimental to others. Talk to me a little bit about how you all process and not go down to a dark place based on some of the things that people react to your social media. What do you do to stay healthy that way emotionally?
Really quick before you guys start that, I just need to excuse myself for one moment. I'm so sorry.
We will be here when you get back.
Awesome. Ailish, I'm passing the talking stick to you.
Oh, okay, I got the talking stick. Funny enough, a lot of our hate comes from just people talking because the scene is a lot of drama. We've had some weird comments here and there, and we've just kind of heckled them back. But I think when it comes to what people say, because a lot of it, of course, because self-centered, it feels like it's targeted at me, as I assume it'd feel like targeted, or not really. That's a stretch. I don't know. I said that, but I think I just kind of have to remind myself that these people are gonna not like me not like us, no matter what we do. It doesn't really matter. Because they just have a predetermined idea. We're not hardcore enough. We're too Riot Grrrl. We're girls. We're speaking up about things. Those are all reasons someone's not going to like us forever. And just because they're saying something behind our back doesn't make it true. And fuck them, honestly. We had a lot of problems with this. Not a lot, but there was a couple things over this summer that was really fucked up. And you know what? I was just like, we're not going to jump the gun on this. Next time we play a show, I'm going to say something about it because fuck you. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I feel like we haven't had that much hate, I think specifically on social media, but our scene that we are currently in, with the younger people, it's definitely a lot of drama. And we have had I'm just basically reiterating what Ailish said right now, but we have had a couple people, specifically I would say boys, who have called us names we're too Riot Grrrl to play a show or something.
Oh, genuine quote, by the way.
That's actual quote.
They're
Too
too
Riot Grrrl.
Riot Grrrl to book.
Which I don't even know what that means because I feel like a lot of our sound isn't even that much classic Riot Grrrl. I feel like so I feel like it was just a dig at us for kind of maybe no reason, maybe
too Riot Grrrl, too feminist hardcore punk,
or calling us performative. We've had people call us performative,
Yeah.
which is just crazy to me.
Yeah, that is nuts. It's funny because I forget, I was recording one of these episodes for Dollfest. I forget who it was, but we were talking about they were getting some online backlash from somebody, and then that person took their energy and went to a show to let them know. And I'm like, that's a whole different level
of hating,
of
That
rage.
that sounds like a lover, not a hater.
No, they were a hater, and they took their energy to a show. And I'm like, so you're saying you have an issue with them, and then you have to get a ticket to get in, and then you get in the show, and you're going to put yourself in the middle of a group of people who absolutely love that artist, and you're going to be a dick. I mean, come on.
Man.
Who's got that kind of time and energy, right?
That's just embarrassing.
Yeah, it's nuts. So how does it feel being on the bill for Dollfest? Tell me how this all happened for you guys.
Okay.
It feels crazy. This is one of our first bigger events, so it was kind of surreal when initially we got approached for the pre-festival. We were gonna open for the pre-show, but then we played a show at Bottom of the Hill in San Francisco, and one of the organizers for Dollfest was there and saw us, and then I'm pretty sure contacted us after asking if we wanted to open the full festival after seeing us once, which was really surreal and really fun. So it's affirming, and it's hopeful because it's we are a younger band, and it's we're being given opportunities by people who came before us to grow as a band and do more and make more change, and it's amazing, and it's so honoring and so hopeful for these people to give us the opportunities that we're being given.
Lila, you just gave me chills. I love that for you all. I think that's fabulous. I mean, seriously, I'm going to get verklempt. You'll get me crying in a moment here. I'm so happy for you. I think that is such a lovely story. We have had a fabulous time kind of hanging out with so many new bands, new artists, older artists. We've gone from Alice Bag to Bad Cop, and everybody in between who's on the bill. And these stories have been amazing. And what Maria and her crew are doing to bring together femme-fronted bands to show their voice, show their power, and show the world that what they're doing matters. Again, it gets me all goosepumped. I mean, I really love the fact that I'm hoping, knock on wood, I'll be out there to see you all for the festival. I'm working on it. We like to put great things out in the world because I think if you keep them bottled up inside and nobody knows about them, you can't make them happen, right? And some people they do a vision board. Some people have a bucket list. I'm just a go out and just do it kind of guy. But everybody's, has a dream of something. And you're very early on in your career. So I'm really going to be interested in the answer to this question. And Lila, I'm going to start with you first. If you had the chance to get in the studio with one other artist for one day, musician, producer, whatever, to work together and be creative, for you, who would it be and why?
Okay. This is a tough one. It's a really tough one because there's so many different people that are flooding through my brain. So many amazing artists that have inspired me over the years. But I gotta pick my first answer. I am the biggest. I don't know if you do. I am the biggest fan of this band ever, Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance. I have to. Shut up. No, I love MCR is my favorite band of all time, and I would commit crimes. I would commit murders to be in a studio with that man.
Don't say that.
What did you think, Ailish? Okay, my bad.
There are things you shouldn't put out in the world, but
Kidding.
If anyone out there knows,
Endgame.
If anyone out there is connected to them, let's make it happen for Lila. What do you say? So if you're watching,
come on, guys.
Maybe you walk their dog. Maybe you watch their kids. Maybe you're a neighbor. I don't know. Let's get Lila hooked up to make a dream come true. Tallulah, how about you? Who's yours?
Okay, well, me and Ailish, I think we share the same. What?
I'm excited.
I think we share the same kind of answer, but I'll let Ailish say her.
No, okay, let's say it on. Are you gonna say the same one I'm gonna say? I have two. But are you gonna say the same one I'm gonna say?
I have two as well. Okay.
Let's do the one that we're both gonna say first on three. Okay. Three, two, one.
Kathleen
Hanna.
Kathleen Hanna.
Wait. I couldn't even. You're on top of each other. Who did you both say?
Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kill and Latia Gray and Julie Ruin and the Julie Ruin and you.
Okay, so Ailish, why did you pick?
I love Kathleen Hanna. She's been a huge inspiration to me. I think same with Tallulah for sure. Bikini Kill is my favorite band. I think her ability to be an advocate and scream on stage and everything she does really resonates with me, and it's just wonderful, and she's great. And my second one is Kim Gordon because I love Kim Gordon.
And Tallulah, what was yours? Was it yours? Did you say the same?
I said Kathleen Hanna, but Kathleen Hanna. Oh my God,
Who's
she's
your
just
second?
like my second one. Okay, my second one is Allison Wolf from Mobile.
Ooh, yeah.
Because she's
Why?
so rad.
All right.
So yeah.
And for the record, my runner-up is Kathleen Hanna as well. I feel like I should mention.
Anybody watching, if you know Kathleen Hanna, let's make all their dreams come true. So Kathleen Hanna, if you're out there watching, or anyone who knows you is watching, put it in the comment below. Let's get these ladies hooked up and let's make their dreams come true. Everyone who watches us knows that it is so important that we support artists. It is the hardest business in the world right now. It is lost a fair amount of its financial reward that it used to have back in the day. And you have to work harder to make an impact in the world. It is so important because art is not free. I'm going to say that again. Art is not free. Go out and support your artists, right? BitchFit has what you have Bandcamp you can buy your music at. Where else? Well, we're going to put the links below. Is there anywhere else I can buy your music?
Currently, we're releasing stuff. We don't actually have stuff released. If you want to hear us, you'd have to go to our Instagram or YouTube. There's some videos of us, but soon, hopefully by the summer, we'll have stuff on Spotify.
Okay, because I thought you had. Don't you have a Bandcamp? Like aren't you on Bandcamp? No. Okay, I wasn't looking in the right place. All right, so you're going to support them by going to a show. You're going to support them by going to a show. When they have physical stuff out, you're going to buy it. Okay, and you're going to go out and buy a ticket to see them perform at Dollfest.
Yes.
All right. Super important. They will be there. So many amazing bands will be there. So you've got to support your artists. Please, please, please support your artists. With that, we love to kind of wrap things up. We've had a great time getting to know each other. But one thing I love to learn about musicians is when you're not making your own music that you're super, super passionate about. Is there one or two artists that if we were just sitting around hanging out, you'd be like, Scott, I've been jamming out to this artist. I listen to them all the time. I love them. You've got to try them out. Tallulah has one she's thinking about right now. I can see. Tallulah, who would you share with me, and why should I be listening to them?
Well, okay. Well, obviously my favorite is Rudimentary Peni. They are so good. You have to listen to them. They're like absolutely my favorite band of like basically all time. Rudimentary Peni is so good. They're so good.
What makes them so good? Tell me about them.
Well, I feel like just their drive and like the sound is just like, it's like literally I get chills. Like, oh my God. Like, oh my God.
I said bag of chips.
What?
Lila, how about you? Who's somebody that you tell me that I should be listening to that you love?
There is a Dublin-based band, Dublin, Ireland, not Dublin, CA, an Irish punk band called Snash, SNASH. There, to my knowledge, is not much of a Dublin scene, so there's very few punk bands out there. I just love them. I have loved them since I was like 13. They're amazing. Their sound, their drive, they blend some electronic aspects into their music, which I love how they do it. They do it so well. So I'd say listen to Snash. They're on Spotify and Bandcamp.
Excellent. Ailish, how about you?
This is hard for me because I'm indecisive and I like a lot of music, but I agree with, I don't know Snash, I'll listen to them, but love Rudimentary Peni. I think for me, a big one that's like, I guess, lesser known is the Insaints. They're one of my favorites. My mom knew Marianne or Swamp Thing, and they're so fucking good. Like, oh! And they have like 30-something monthly listeners, I think. And they're one of my favorite bands. But yeah, so much music. I've been really into ska right now, though, too. So, like, I've been listening to a lot of Operation Ivy. So. Really?
So, now, look, we've been at this for almost 45 minutes. If we go down a ska rabbit hole, we're going to get down to the specials, the madness. We're gonna talk about who's my favorite right now? The Interrupters. Oh my God.
I think I know them.
Oh my God. I found them at Punk Rock Bowling. I love them. I've bought everything. They're in the studio right now. Here's what we're going to do. All right.
I'll listen.
We're going to wrap up for today, but when you release whatever it is you're going to release in the summer, full record, EP, whatever, we're going to do this again.
Hell yeah.
We're going to talk about it. And then we'll go down some serious ska rabbit holes because I am a huge, huge ska
I'll make
fan.
sure I do even more ska homework.
All right. There we go. We're all going to do some homework for the next episode. Ailish, Tallulah, Lila, this has been fantastic. I am in total awe of the three of you. I think you are fantastic, and I cannot wait to see what the future has in store for you. So I thank you so much for making time for me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
We had a
good time. Do we have some We had some fun along the way, didn't we?
Oh,
Yeah, we
hell
had
yeah.
I had a great time.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
That's what we hope to do. This is just meant to be fun. So everybody, you have to check out BitchFit. Go follow them. The links will be below. You know what to do. Support them. Go see them at Dollfest. I'm going to do everything I can to be there. And in the meantime, as I tell you all the time, we have to do something really super important. We have to love ourselves. We have to give ourselves some grace. And more important, we have to do that for other people. If we do that, not only for ourselves, but for others, we will live in a better place. And that's the greatest gift we can ever give each other. So until the next time we get a chance to hang together, thanks for joining me, everybody. It's been great.
BitchFit loves you.
I'm getting goosebumps. All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks so much.